Oh, here's a bit of an update on this little item, a Philips 604 record player. They also appear badged as a Boots, as in Boots the chemist over here in the UK, and elsewhere I understand, and also as a Pi. Was it a 1557 or something, the model number? I can't remember, but it was identical in all but colouring. And if you go further afield again to Belgium, I think they were badged as a horny phone or something and had a different tone arm. At least the end of it was different. Hadn't got the plug-in head shell. The problem with this one, apart from being a bit battered, was that one of the germanium transistors had gone down in the ab, shorting to the fray. Well, I've managed to sort that out. The only real cure, of course, is a replacement transistor. As you can tap them and it destroys some of the verdigris, tin whiskers, call it what you will inside. But it'll probably try and come back again, the little swine. In the case of that one, it had actually gone to earth, so no sound at all through the left channel. But one thing that was noticeable, having got it going, was that whenever the turntable was in motion, you got a sort of high-pitched, spluttering, crackling sound coming through both speakers. And that problem is caused by the little tiny motor itself, the same sort of animal that they put in these early Philips cassette decks, and they have been known to do it as well. In fact, I've recently repaired a couple using a much more modern motor and the original motor control, which is for the most part alright. It's the actual mechanical bit that fails. The commutators get scored and the brushes wear out, and you can't replace them, of course, because, well, A, they don't make it anymore, and B, it would be a pig of a job, wouldn't it? And at one time, of course, you'd have just put another motor in it. Well, what I've done with this one is to wire up a 9-volt counterclockwise cassette motor into it. It is overall bigger than the motor that came out of the thing, and this is just wired straight to the 9-volt internal supply, the DC side of course, rather than using the original speed regulator, which was separate from the motor, rather like the old cassettes used to be. So the result, I have to say, is rather good, and I'll certainly know what to do again if presented with the same fault. Because yes, you can pull another motor out of a rack, but there's no guarantee, is there, that that motor won't be in the same state or approaching that state. Yeah. Had to re-drill the plate on which the motor mounts fractionally to make it fit, shrinking off the tower gear, the pulley that actually does the drive through the idler wheel to the inside of the turntable. That was a bit of a swine. But if you heat them up gently with something like a lighter for a few seconds and then gently prise them off, they do come off. They take a bit of persuasion, but don't go too bad, because you may end up splitting the thing down the middle. And similarly, when you put it on the new motor, don't go too bad then either, because you don't want to damage the new motor. It was then simply a case of speed setting it in the usual manner, with the trusty old strobe there and an incandescent lamp, and away we went again. Not a trace of a crackle, no. Bit of surface noise on the record there, but you expect that with something like this. This is just a record I keep for testing. The metal plate on the front of this was missing, so I've made up a wood effect plate and then recovered the two on the sides, which are plastic, to match, so that it all looks a bit as if it was intended to be. Because the new motor is a DC cassette motor, just a 9-volt counterclockwise, the machine will, yes, still run on 6 HP2 batteries. So yes, I thought that was a good idea. Try and keep it as functional and original as possible. But that motor, well, what can one say? Mind you, doesn't owe anybody anything. It's probably 40 years old, so, and who can say how many records it's spun? The automatic cutout was something else as well. It wouldn't cut out. And on taking the turntable off, which is surprisingly easy to do, though whether I can do it one-handed I don't know. There's the innards, including the voltage selector. And what happens is that a pin on the underside of the turntable gradually moves over as the arm moves over, and this gradually moves over this component. And then there's a pin on the underside of the turntable itself there, which engages that, flips it down and turns it off. It doesn't return the arm to the armrest or anything like that, this model. But the pin was missing, it wasn't there. So it was a case of adapting a suitable stainless steel spring to fit in the groove there, and the boss in the middle, and that has cured the problem. Had to go in there anyway to get at the motor. And so there we are. That is another one repaired. Really must get round to doing some eBaying soon or something, you know. See you soon.